Hi, welcome to Savepoint. I'm Nick Rubio.
I'm Ron Shepard.
I'm Hunter Taylor.
Good times, everyone. No, roll with it.
Alright, so we're a video game channel. We talk about video game stuffs, topics, and things you submits to us.
Stuffs.
On Twitter, on
Question
Tumblr,
me?
And YouTube.
yeah.
If we ever get the YouTube
Hashtag
ones.
Savepoint. Use that thing. Hunter, read.
Video game bang! On the spot, what are your thoughts about vulgarity and smut in video games? How much is too much?
Okay, fucking
We're starting off real serious. on
Fox
this
News
one.
over here.
How much is too much? Nick, you open the door.
Fucking goddamn it. Okay. Alright, so we were talking a bit earlier about Tomb Raider and Grand Theft Auto, and I feel like it's kind of hard to say what's too much, because I mean my first video game was Unreal Tournament 2002, and that was bad back then. That was the first like PS2 game I ever got, and I feel like I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. Like now it's so hyper realistic and stuff, and you can run over people and pick up chicks in your minivan. And
I don't know.
Hit people with dildo bags.
It's a very complex question because if the rating system works, then to me it's just like to each their own. If you want to play something hyper violent, then I guess whatever. For me, my personal preference, I feel like games should be only as graphic and vulgar as serves the story. Like if you're being so like crazy outlandishly vulgar that it actually ruins the immersion of the story, then I think it's bad.
Like it makes no sense.
Yeah, like okay, this person did not need to explode into guts. That didn't do anything for the story. But I mean, if
why,
you're,
My Little Pony? Why?
but I mean, if you're playing Hitman and you like strangle a man to death or snap his neck, that makes sense. Or if you're playing a ninja game and you happen to cut someone's limbs up in saucy sausage parts, then that's fine because that serves the story. That makes sense to me.
That's why I thought people were kind of overly dramatic about the Tomb Raider thing. Like, those were some pretty brutal deaths, but it fit because it's a survival game. She's trying to survive.
Yeah, I agree with you.
they were like pirates in the term of like now new age pirates, but like they were people who were trying to kill you, and that's probably what they would do to you in real life. They wouldn't like they gunned her down like forget about it. No, they're gonna do messed up shit to your corpse.
Like, they're trying to rape her. People complained, but you making it rain on people, on strippers and Grand Theft Auto is
People
okay.
complain about that too. I'm pretty sure.
Or
I
hitting
think
people with dildo bats is okay.
I understand
but
the
it's not as
importance.
widely,
I understand the importance of like the portrayal of women in video games. It's a very sensitive subject, obviously, and excessive violence against women is obviously horrible. But I feel like you're also doing a disservice if you're trying to ignore harsh realities. The fact is that like there are horrible people, there are terrible people who would do those rapings, and I feel like it's like I don't know. It's a similar effect when they use racial slurs in movies. When you take them out, I feel like you're actually doing them a disservice because you need to know how bad it was. You need to know how bad these things are. That's my thoughts on it.
Well, that's a good topic, though.
That is a very good topic. Do you feel like we didn't really talk about the smut thing too much? I don't know. I mean, Leisure Suit Larry, I guess.
I don't think Leisure Suit Larry. I mean, you got to think like the game that opened the door for all of this, I think, was God of War.
Ripping.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
Moving
you
with the
gotta
sex
think-
scenes.
Well,
and
yeah,
whatnot.
like I think God of War was like one of the first like commercially available games
Yeah.
that you could get that wasn't rated A that showed boobs. They weren't fucking great boobs, but they were.
Well, actually, Duke Nukem, the original one,
Oh, okay.
did have boobies in
That
it.
is true.
Alright, so your good pal Rar plays games, Rar in Space from Tumblr. How about sales and reception of GTA 5 or the new stuff Steam announced today? Less than 3. Heart.
We're loved.
Love you too.
So which one are we tackling first?
GTA, I think, because GTA third day it hit $1 billion. They put 280,000. Wait,
285
million.
Yeah, $285 million. Biggest budget ever spent on a game.
And I'm pretty sure the biggest return ever netted in from a game.
Yeah, they've someone's buzzing. They've made their money and then some. And the stuff that Steam announced today, the new SteamOS, I saw some of the screenshots of it before, and it actually looks really cool, and I'm sure everyone loves the idea of being able to have their Steam almost like in console form. And hopefully, they said in 2 days they're going to do another announcement, and I speculate that it might be the Steam box, like the actual physical console. I think it's actually really smart, though, the timing they did, because, you know, you got Xbox versus PlayStation, and Sony and Microsoft are just, like, fighting each other off, and then Steam's just, like, walking past the two fighting and, like, picking up the crowd, like, I'm just taking this, man.
It'll be interesting, because I know technology like the Shield and stuff is you're going to be able to play games off your computer and stream it to your Shield, so, like, I feel like this will be another way to, like, you know, kind of do the same kind of thing. Kind of your games aren't necessarily locked down to the console you used, i.e. PC. You can pretty much bring them wherever you want.
So I think it looks awesome. I think it's very promising, and I love Steam, so I only expect the best. And yeah, GTA 5 is amazing. Reception, actually, I thought the reception was gonna be a bit more harsh for GTA 5, but it seems like it's been loved pretty much across the board.
I've heard. Sorry, you go.
No, you go. You haven't talked too much.
I was just gonna say, like, there have been critical things on, like, the torture scene. Have you done the torture scene?
Yeah, I've heard about it. I haven't seen it, but
the torture scene's pretty fucked up. And then I think that was like one of the main things, because you were forced to do it. Like,
you didn't have an option to.
Oh well, yeah, you didn't have an option.
That's kind of like how in Last of Us, I didn't know you couldn't kill those doctors because
you just killed everyone.
I killed the doctor.
I told him, like, dude, I don't think you have to do that. You're like, no, I have to do it.
I have to do it.
So I think it's been mostly good for the most part, but I mean, obviously, like, I don't think that the criticism is like, you know, it's not unnecessary. Like, of course, you know, bad things happen. Don't buy it for little kids. You know,
I can't
be an intelligent parent if you were one of those.
I can't tell you how many parents I've seen. I'm like, you do drugs, there's a lot of titties, and you can kill people in brutal ways. You still okay with buying? Yeah, it's alright. He plays Call of Duty.
That's nothing like.
Go for it. Okay. Tactical Destruction on the Tumblers asked us your thoughts on the game industry as a whole, specifically the direction it's currently taking. I feel like games these days are hanging on to things that are popular. Like MOBAs, you know, the second League of Legends got popular, you know, all of a sudden Heroes of New Earth came out, Dota 2 came out, and then now this Legends of the Cryptids, and what's that Avenger one they made? They made some Marvel one. I feel like people hang on to, especially companies, because they know that that's where the money is. They're going to go towards the niches.
Well, I think it's what it is I think games are doing really good right now. They're more popular than they've ever been.
Yeah.
Obviously, look at GTA and all the money it's made. It's like it's the biggest blockbuster ever, pretty much. So obviously, it's the same thing with Hollywood, where you're going to see countless imitators. You know, that's bound to happen.
Yeah.
But I think it's at a great place because, you know, I think it's really awesome that we're at a time where you have GTA 5, huge blockbuster game, biggest budget ever spent on a game, but you're not just seeing major studios. Actually, indie games have a lot of love, and, you know, there's growing support for both the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 coming out, supporting indie developers with a green light program on Steam. So I think that you're seeing great things from both ends of this.
Well.
Yeah, I think you're seeing great things from both ends of the spectrum, and that's what makes me very optimistic about things. Is because you're seeing great titles like The Last of Us, you know, Grand Theft Auto 5, Bioshock Infinite, Beyond Two Souls coming out looks fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't really say for sure until it does. I mean, The Evil Within looks
Titanfall.
like amazing.
Ni no Kuni. That's a
You
good
gotta
game.
get some love for the JRPGs.
Yeah, no, of course. It was just funny
Kuni.
because we were in the store and we were walking by and he's like, "Oh, Ni no Kuni."
I still haven't played it. I really want to play it. Tomb Raider. There's a lot of great games coming.
But there's great indie games too.
Yeah.
Great indie games. I mean,
Like God, what's I think Outlast. Outlast was an indie game. Outlast
was it really?
Yeah. Amnesia was an indie game. Minecraft, for God's sakes, that was an indie game.
Yeah, and then you have you have Binding of Isaac, a very well loved indie game, lots of fun.
A lot of Super Meat Boy.
Like you have your really great indie
Cat
titles.
Lady, which is a game we still need to play.
Yeah, we do need to play the Cat Lady. Yeah, so I'm actually pretty optimistic about it. Which ties into this. Dallas Landreth, our friend Sharky Hat on Twitter, who's also on YouTube. We could link to you, buddy. Says the rise of indie game support for next gen consoles, which is what we just talked about. So, how perfect did that just tied in nicely? Magic. So let's go on to the next one here. All right. Infinitry Productions. Gender, race, age, and the appropriateness of disability in character creators. So, do you feel like you're getting enough choices? Do you feel like minorities and smaller groups are being given enough representation, I guess, in video games and in choice of being able to play them as? And actually, I think that's a really good question.
Yeah. I think
In games where I think of character creators, most of them are like RPGs, like Elder Scrolls and you know, stuff like World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy, Realm Reborn, or just any, like, I can't really think of games that like don't have like heavy RPG kind of style, like fantasy, I should say.
Well, no, I mean, you have other games where they have modes where you can design characters at least.
or Saints Row, we design everything.
Yeah.
On there.
But I mean, I think the disability part is a very good thing because that really isn't something in a game. Like, there's no game where you're like, I'm going to play Skyrim, but I'm going to play Skyrim through the eyes of someone who can't walk. You know, I mean, I guess I don't know. It's hard because it would take a lot of suspension of disbelief because you're imagining like how would a character who can't walk really thrive in such a hostile environment. You could be a magic user.
I mean, I guess, but a dragon would just.
That's I would think like the best way they could do that is if he just was like kind of like a Bran situation from Game of Thrones, but he always rides a horse or always rides a dragon or something. If they made the dragon flying better.
But then I feel like that locks the game down like heavily. Like you couldn't experience the same story as somebody who was fully able.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right, but the thing is like I feel like, you know, there should be some options there for people. If you are a handicapped person and you would like to be able to imagine like this highly realized fictional world, but you know, and this like as a handicapped person, also something that you could relate to more. There should be some options for that, and it is kind of sad that there isn't. I mean, at least they're a little bit better with where you can pretty much play any race you want in video games now.
Pretty much.
But no, that's actually a very good point.
Age is something else that like you can't really choose how old you are. I mean, well, you can like at a certain point, like you can kind of make yourself look old and haggard, but I mean at the same point, at the same time, you're still. Not even like you're stuck like that. At the same time, you're still, you know, if you make yourself in Skyrim, let's say, you make yourself look old and haggard, you could still level up and kill things and be like,
right, it won't affect you.
Yeah, you're like 20 years old, you know.
I mean, I think a good character that I can think of in a game that's a very good character, but is actually somewhat handicapped would be Joker from Mass Effect, because he had what's
muscular
it called?
Dystrophy.
No, he didn't have muscular dystrophy. It's a name. Something's disease. John,
wasn't it the baseball player?
No, he did not have Lou Gehrig's disease.
I'm sorry,
no,
I'm trying to think.
He had, we'll figure it out afterwards. But yeah, you know, and he could barely walk but then, I don't know, they kind of screwed that over when they gave him all the surgery and such.
I thought of one, but everybody hated it.
What?
I loved it. Far Cry 2. Malaria.
Oh yeah, that was awful.
That was awesome.
That wasn't like I mean, I guess a disability, but that was an awful. That was like, I don't even want to...
I liked it because it made for, like, a lot of people didn't like it, but I liked it because it was made for very suspenseful moments in the game, like...
Oh no, I'm getting shot at! Oh god, my malaria's kicking in, I gotta take my pills.
But, like, you look into the pill box and the pill thing, and there's, like, nothing there, and you're just like... And then you're, like, running away for your life. Like, I like that.
Gender is also interesting, though, because, you know, it is pretty much... It's traditional gender lines across the board, is you're either male or female in games, but, you know...
Yeah, you know, I don't really... In Saints Row, you can kind of mix it up. You could have like a female character with a male character's voice.
Yeah, you could do that. I mean, actually, you could have a male character with like very feminine features, and you can do girl hair and everything. So I guess there's. But the thing is like it still comes down to it. You're picking a male character. You're picking a female character.
You couldn't really do that in like Skyrim or something like that because at that point it's like.
I think you have to look more to indie games for that because there's a lot of indie games that kind of explore those topics more. But no, it's a very good question, and I think that is something that warrants discussions.
Yeah.
So yeah, did we have anything else after that? Oh no, I think that was the last one, guys.
Yep. Yep.
That was wow. Well, we got through all of them. Let's see. Let's leave them with a question. What do you think needs to be shown more in games? Do you feel like things like race, gender, and disability are being adequately portrayed in games? What are some good examples of some? Have a discussion. Get heated.
Oh God.
in the comments. Don't forget to leave us your topic suggestions. Use hashtag Savepoint on Twitter. Don't point at people because it can actually make some people angry. And when people get angry, they can get violent.
And they get heated and they write bad things in comments.
Well, I don't. You can't really point at someone through comments. I'm talking about like interpersonal
Don't fucking
conversation.
make hand gestures.
No, we're
like,
talking-
this guy
I'm-
above me is an asshole.
That guy.
Or no, you have to use the picture from Christian Bale, American Psycho. The one gives like, or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, my name's Ryan Shepard. Thank you for watching.
I'm Hunter Taylor.
Fuck, I forgot who I was.
This is Nick the Stash Rubio. He doesn't have a mustache, but that's just his name. Alright, and see you next time, you merry folks.
Feed me, stray cat.